the photographer.
What up, what up?
All right, we wanted to start off by letting the people know who you are, who you be, where you from, things of that nature.
I go by Rafeese, Mr. Get You Published. I'm from Queens area, been back and forth between Queens and Virginia all my life, so I can't just say from Queens area. I've been back and forth between Queens and Norfolk, Virginia, and Richmond, Virginia most of my life, so I'm on both sides of the fence. But yeah, basically, make a long story short, my hashtag is Mr. Get You Published because I'm by far probably one of the most published photographers in the world as far as eye candy and urban glam. Basically, I shoot for multiple publications. I don't look at, a lot of photographers go for Instagram numbers and followers based on publications they shoot for. I shoot for some everything. I shoot for the underdog because I feel like if you're a photographer with a magazine in, say, like Wisconsin, you may have an audience that I may never capture because they're all the way out in Wisconsin. So since that's your area, I wouldn't mind shooting for your publication because those are some followers that I would normally never reach. So I shoot for all types of publications depending on, the look and the brand. If I feel like they have something up and coming, I've been in a bunch of major publications as well. A lot of people know me from the whole Don Diva magazine situation. Shot for Don Diva, I've shot for Feds, I've shot for Sub-Zero, Fat Puffs Mag, I've shot for Stack Magazine, Pressure Magazine, Hip Hop Weekly, just to name a few. I could go on forever. So it's not that I just shoot for small magazines and I don't just shoot for big magazines. I shoot for different publications if I see that they have potential.
Okay, so where do you usually find the models that you work with?
The difference between me a lot of times and a lot of other photographers is a lot of other photographers, they aim all the time for, professional models. I kind of have an underdog thing. I think it's coming from the hip hop community where the independent artist doesn't get their shot. And me being an independent artist back in the day who I felt like I never really got my shot, I wanted to create opportunities for people. So a lot of times I don't go for established models. I go for the everyday girl next door.
Okay.
And I like them to we become a part of each other's brand and the growth. And that's what I like about, how I go about obtaining models. I'll find a model in Walmart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll find somebody that work at Walmart. You know what I mean? Home Tebow,
If they look good.
Yeah, if they got the look.
You gotta have an eye.
And it's crazy how many models have popped off. Didn't even know they were models.
Right.
And I'm a part of that. And I'm totally cool with that.
Okay.
So
is there any advice you would give aspiring model, male or female, in trying to get booked and things to look out for when they get involved in the industry?
Well, from the model aspect, I'll give it to you in two parts. From the model's perspective, trying to get in and become a published model and expand their brand. And I also give you from a photographer standpoint if he's trying to get published and expand his brand.
For 1 second though, just for clarity, being published model just basically means you're in some type of publication as far as, just in a publication rather, as opposed to just taking pictures and doing nothing.
Yeah, just throwing them up on the internet.
Because some people probably gonna say, "What's the difference?"
Yeah, I mean, with the age nowadays, it's digital, so a lot of models feel like they're, I'm being booked off my Instagram, so I don't need to be in magazines.
Okay.
To each his own, but why would you turn down any audience?
Yeah, definitely.
There's still a vast audience of people who read publications. If there would be no publications.
Right.
I mean, so, there's, a whole penitentiary system, which a lot of my content goes into. These guys don't necessarily have the internet. Right. So, and they're real fans.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So if they see a model that they like and, they're fans.
Hell yeah.
So, they'll buy your content, buy the publications you're in, stuff of that nature. A lot of people who got stuff on Instagram where they got followers, but do you have supporters?
Right, definitely.
Will you have somebody that will actually purchase something that you are putting out?
Yeah, and some of those systems, like, they'll allow calendars, and a lot of the girls I noticed that went from the magazines parlayed to fame into different types of things like calendars, and as far as the penitentiary system, I'm quite sure there's other revenue streams that they get, like hosting parties and all that stuff once they have fame or whatever. But as far as a person that's reading the publication and the next available thing, they buying the calendars, they buying the pictures. I've seen little hot shot type pictures of the girls where they allow them into the joint, and like you just said, those dudes are spending money, and they definitely are fans. Mm-hmm. It's captured audience, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like,
it's like where you want to go. You want to go with content where somebody will look at your picture a few seconds on the internet, right, or somebody who's gonna cherish this publication, this picture of you in this publication,
and put money in your pocket at the same time, because they spending money for everything they get.
Exactly.
So yeah, and with that said, how do they go? What would be the advice that I got a sidetrack? But what would be the advice for any aspiring models and the things to look out for as far as this industry is concerned?
Starting off, I would tell models, and this is always a big debate. I would tell models to pay for your photographers and pay for the right photography. Let's clarify that.
Definitely.
Definitely. Don't pay a photographer who's gonna have your shit looking crazy.
Yeah.
You want to pay for a photographer that's gonna give you the right look for the vision of your brand. But I say that because the something for nothing type of thing gets a lot of people in trouble.
Hell yeah.
So I would say, as a model, if you coming in and you're trying to expand your brand and getting these publications, so it's fair exchange, no robbery. Listen, I'm gonna pay you, to do a shoot for me. Once your brand starts to excel to a certain point, you're gonna get those photographers that want to pay you because they want to be a part of your brand. Now you're at a level where you've excelled them. So now they have to come to you. They have to come to you with, on another plane. They have to come to you and pay you for your brand. But you can't ask anybody to pay you if you can't tell them what they're getting out the deal. So if you're, why should this photographer pay you to shoot?
And their followings, their real followings, because you got these robot followers or whatever, but their real following plays into that too as well. Like how many people they actually have following them on Instagram, or what type of notoriety they have. All that factors into the fee that they can charge at that point.
Yeah.
So with that said, starting off at the bottom, your main thing is to invest in yourself.
Invest and come to your shoot. Come to your shoot airtight. It may only take you that one shoot.
Right.
Before you take off. You know what I mean? Because if you come properly, hair, makeup, that's something I gotta stress. A lot of models come to their first shoots. Oh yeah, I wanna be a model. They don't have hair, they don't have makeup, they don't have the right outfit. You're trying to target a certain audience. You want to come full force. Don't come half-assed with it.
Definitely.
If you come half-assed to a shoot, then that's how your images are. You can't blame the photographer because you came to a shoot half-assed.
I do photography myself, and one of the things I notice is like cheap makeup. like completely ruins a shoot, because I've only seen, like, I'm in Syracuse, New York, and I only seen one person around here. She goes by Nina on the Beat, but when she does, the makeup is so smooth in the picture that you don't really have to do anything else after the fact. So investing in the proper photographer, the proper people to do the hair, and the hairstylist, even the outfit. Some of these girls, they don't even wear outfits that, whether the color match their skin or whatever, is just something could be throwing it off. Like, but one thing I notice is the makeup. The makeup can make or break up the photo.
I've been fortunate to work with certain models where a lot of other models, I used to manage models, just to give you a quick rundown. And I'm giving this example so other models can take this and put it in their memory bank. Now, I'm not gonna say names because I'm not gonna name drop on here, but I've had models where they've gotten to more publications consistently than some of the models that were doing it longer than them. And the models that were doing it longer than them that I was managing at the time couldn't understand. They say, yo, I feel like you're pushing this girl more than you're pushing me. That girl showed up to her shoot with her hair and makeup, 3-4 different wigs,
right.
10 different outfits. So of course, I was able to publish her in more publications consistently off just one shoot.
Definitely. Man, that's professionalism.
Yeah, so she came ready and prepared. She knew what she was in this to do. She knew, okay, yeah, I might not shoot for the next 3, 4, 5 months. So when I do this shoot, let me put it together tight, and that's me as a photographer. Different photographers do different things. So some of them will say, yeah, I'm only, shooting you for 1 or 2 looks. That's them. That's how they operate. I operate differently.
Right.
If you come to my shoot and you come airtight and ready, we gonna get all the dopest content we can get. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, a lot of the times is that. Come to your shoot prepared to show the world how you're gonna look.
Exactly, how you want to get bagged up and, pumped to the world. But at the end of the day, what is the, as far as the model, the attitude they should have when they come? Because, I notice, like, a lot of this content is more racy as far as bikinis, some nude and things like that. Like, can you see that in a person when they're nervous and not really, ready for that type of shoot?
Well, I kind of make that known ahead of time.
Okay.
I let them see some of the publications, so they basically have an understanding. Look, these are the publications I normally target and deal with.
So they know off the rip.
Yeah. So it's basically like you shoot at your comfort level.
Right. Okay.
A lot of my content on Instagram scares certain models. They'll automatically respond with, "Oh, just to let you know." I'm not shooting like that, and I didn't ask you to shoot like that. Right. I didn't approach you and ask you to shoot like that. Based on if you told me you wanted to shoot for a specific publication, you may have to shoot a certain way. I'll let you know that off jump.
Right.
Because these are eye candy publications. These are for men.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So basically, you're gonna have to sell some form of sexy. But certain models got a way of doing it where
it's classy.
It's classy. It still looks. It looks beautiful. It looks artistic. However you do it, you bring your own swag. Like, I'm snapping the picture. I can't depict anything you're not allowing me to snap.
Do you guide the flow of the shoot, or is it on the model? Is it her ideas that are being conveyed, or are these yours?
It's both our input.
Okay.
It's both I leave the platform open for both our input. I know specific poses and specific things that I know, based on the model's body type, is also how I pose them as well. Okay. Like, I look at whatever your sexiest feature is.
Right.
You may have more of a chest than you have a backside and a pretty face. You know what I mean? So we're gonna concentrate more on front-on shots. You You know what I mean?
Got you. That makes sense.
So you also, you know, if you got abs and, you know, you cut up in the stomach, okay, yeah, your front on shots, you know, we gonna get busy with those.
Right.
But, you know, you may have nice round hips, you know what I mean? Back shots is always gonna be, you know, back shots is what the eye candy industry wants anyway.
Definitely.
So if you got, you know, nice curved round backside, then yeah, we're gonna take some images that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna capitalize on whatever your sexiest features are. So, you know, that's what I utilize in the process. It's different from fashion modeling and traditional glamour modeling.
Right.
You know,
the focus is probably the clothes and the outfits. And stuff like that.
Basically.
Right. So what about as far as do you work with the bigger body women? Do you deal with big body women, the big girls, for lack of better words?
Yeah, I've shot a few plus size models for some plus size publications as well.
Oh, there are. So there are publications that focus on them specifically anyway.
Yeah. So you know,
how do you keep them sexy? Like, some people would think that a bigger body girl would be like, oh, she's not sexy, like, but you know, it's an eye of the beholder. But at the end of the day, some people like that. But how do you make that sexy?
Well, really, with that, it's really more on the model's confidence level, because I've had some big girls who could sell it.
Oh yeah, because
I look good, and they come across on camera like that.
They feel it.
You know what I mean? So it's basically it all comes down to the actual individual model. You know, I can do my thing, you know, make it look how it's supposed to look as far as lighting and all that. But as far as the subject, you gotta have that confidence. It's gonna show through your pictures. There's no way to hide that.
So do you work with dudes? You work with guys?
I've shot some male models before in the past. I haven't done any recently. My wife is gonna be in the process of creating an eye candy magazine for the ladies.
Okay.
So we're gonna target.
I have never seen that. Like, is there a magazine for dudes like that like made, for lack of a better word, the girls up in Bedford, up in the state prison?
Exactly. So that's what we're in the process of trying now. You know
but there isn't one out, is there?
No.
I mean, urbanly, because you know you got Playgirl or some shit probably, but like urbanly, like they don't have one, do they?
Nah.
I haven't seen one. I've never seen one. That's a good market. That's probably a sell to the ladies, because the ladies spend the money anyway.
Exactly.
In my opinion.
Exactly.
So what, as far as, you know, you get a lot of horror stories about the industry. Is there any things that models should look out for as far as, you know, crooked photographers, how to tell, especially when they're in a situation like that, where some creep is posing as a photographer and things like that? Like, what is that to look out for in order to spot that immediately and steer left of that?
For one, an issue that always comes up that I've never had an issue with, a lot of photographers, if a photographer is uncomfortable with you bringing an escort to your shoot,
right,
then that should be a problem. That should be a red flag right there. I've never had, you know, I've had girls say, oh yeah, I'm coming with my boyfriend. Some of the crazy nude shots that you see in some of my profiles and some of my work, the boyfriend was there, the husband was there.
Okay.
So, you know, it's a comfort level thing.
So that's a recommendation that the girl, even to make them feel comfortable, to bring an escort.
Yeah, you could bring a homeboy. Don't gotta be your boyfriend. It could be your home. I mean, if you got a boyfriend that's gonna damn near want to attack the photographer because you shot a certain way, then yeah, you probably shouldn't bring him. Right. I mean, but you know, you could bring a homeboy, a cousin. You could bring a home girl. You know, just, you know, have somebody there so they're not confident with being inappropriate.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's always my suggestion.
And that red flag is like, if they like, nah, you got to come by yourself and all that, that should be a warning right there for you. So these are the type of things that the model should be asking off the rip, like, is it cool for me to bring a escort or this, that, and the third, just to get the feedback and see what type of photographer they dealing with, or even probably a publication executive at a publication or something. They could be the creep. Like, where would the most danger probably be?
There's a lot
with
of
the photographer or the execs. Like, where would the most danger for these models be?
There's a lot of that. So it's they calling it TFP now, trade for pussy. So you have to watch out for that. There's inappropriate, like, guaranteed. I'm gonna tell you, if you're a beautiful woman, you may have a photographer. There may be some chemistry there. You know what I mean? Things could happen. My wife is one of my models. She was a model. You know what I mean? Chemistry was there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the chemistry was there. The mother of my child was a model too. You know what I mean? Right. So, the chemistry could be there, and, things could happen. That's understandable as long as it's two consenting adults. Right. You know what I mean? Definitely. And that's what happens, then that's what happens. You know what I mean? But if it's unwanted, you know what I mean, you definitely want to make sure, okay, how is this guy commenting, based on the conversation we had before I even get to the shoot. Right. What is he saying anything appropriate? Is he giving me an uneasy feeling? Like, you gotta use your spidey senses. Through the communication, through the initial you gotta use your spidey senses. And as a woman, you kind of feel, okay, this conversation is going a little to the left. Right. Don't ignore that. Right. Okay, so you gotta use common sense is basically. Yeah, pretty much. If you have common sense, some people don't got it. I hear it's not common these days. Mm-hmm. But, so what do you have any other stories of examples of how things could go in your career in different situations, like things that have happened on shoots that are, crazy in your opinion? There's so many situations I wouldn't even know to start. Every situation is different. I've had situations where models have showed up and we get ready to do the whole shoot, and then the release form comes out and they be like, I want to do the shoot, but I'm not going to sign a release form. Then we're not doing the shoot. Like, right. What's the purpose of doing the shoot? And guaranteed, I understand. Oh yeah, I don't feel like I want to sign anything. Understood. This camera is just not. The power is not turning on. Right. Definitely. So you feel it's out. They got to be ready to work, and that's one of the key pieces of a shoot is the release, or else it's just wasted time. Yeah, I've had the number of situations I've had with several models is crazy. I've had situations where I put models on the cover of publications. Right. And then they're not posting and pushing the publication they're on the cover of. Mm-hmm. Oh, why you not pushing the public? Oh, I don't want my family to see it. Right. Like, wasn't the whole object of you to get on the cover of a publication was to promote it? Oh, I don't want my family. Like, what sense does that make? So when you do shoot models and you meet models and you're taking pictures of them, are you trying to get them to where they're working for you, or are they still able to freelance and go from even leave you and find another photographer and go to do different things? Yeah, even how are you really even the models that I manage, I've pushed them to work with other photographers, because all photographers have a different eye. Right. The way I see something won't be necessarily the way you see it as the photographer. Definitely. The way I light it may not be necessarily be the way you would light it. So, I always urge them that way, you have a diverse... variety, too. Yeah, you have a diverse, but like I said, the right photographers. If it doesn't make sense for you to shoot with this specific photographer, I wouldn't say do it. You know what I mean? Right, definitely. Especially if your brand is at a certain level now. So it's like your brand is at a certain level. Are you going to capitalize by shooting with this photographer? Is it going to bring something to your port? Is it going to help you get published? Is it going to, make your brand look totally different from your past work, but, you know, still pretty much coincide and, you know, give you a jump ahead of what you've already done. But if you're not going to do that, then it doesn't make sense for you to just shoot with another photographer. If you shooting with a photographer for a specific reason, then I can see it.
Right.
But to just shoot just to be shooting is like your brand is gonna go nowhere if you're just shooting just to be shooting.
Like another question I got that I think is important, like we're up at state New York right now, Syracuse, New York, and a lot of times you have people thinking that because we're up here, we don't have access to the different publications or even the market where that would be abundant, where there's jobs and there's different people looking for the models to be in these publications and things. What type of things can a person up here in the smaller towns, more out of the way towns, can they do in order to find ways to get into these publications?
It's basically networking. It's the same as if you're in any other industry, as opposed to like being an artist or whatever. You have to network.
So it's not something like because they up here, for lack of better words, in the middle of nowhere, they can't get into the market, get in the industry.
No, that's not the case. It's how much hunger and how much ambition you have. What are you doing with your content? Are you sitting there saying, I don't know how to get this content in the publication, or are you actively looking and researching on how to get into the publications? A lot of the publications is basically just a submission email address.
Right. And not just relying on somebody else to do everything for you.
Exactly.
See, I've noticed, like, I met in this area up here, I've met a lot of people, they seem like they one, they don't think shit can happen, but two, like, they're unprofessional. Like, they may be popping here in this little ass town and, you know, everybody else likes them, loves them, whatever, here, but nobody else knows you anywhere else.
Yeah.
And that's like a curse, because sometimes when I've been reaching out to them and trying to deal with them, they unprofessional like a motherfucker. But second of all, it's just like they, one, I have a lot of problem people not showing up. They're not on time. I sent an email to a chick and she hit me back 5 days later. This chick hit me 5 days later. I sent an email. She's feeling herself, but I'm like, you're here. Like, what are you doing? You would think these girls been in Playboy or some other huge publication.
And listen, and the thing is, you think that's just here. I have a team of photographers called Elite Images.
Okay.
Across, we range from here all the way to Miami.
Okay.
So every other day, I get a conversation from like the Miami photographer, Firehouse Inc., or from Digital Icons in North Carolina, John Redmond in Manhattan, or my other photographer, Diego Thomas. We have conversations all the time. You know, I have a Baltimore photographer. He probably the one, Mr. Exchange, he'll probably tell you the most. He's like, yo, are you going through them problems down here?
Yeah.
I mean,
so that's everywhere.
Yeah, because he's like, listen, he was like, this model didn't show up. This model, you know, she didn't post like she said she was gonna post the publication we put her in, and like it's frustration on a photographer's part. So, you know, it's not just these towns, it's everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, so it's like you're gonna see the people that you see putting in work is probably just the people that you should definitely go after.
and that's the people that you should invest your time in as well, because that's been my problem right now. Like I met one chick and I was just telling her, don't waste my time. And she hit me back with an email like she was Tyra Banks or some shit. I was just saying like, oh, I look good, all this. And I was like, I never said you didn't. I said, just don't waste my time, because that's the problem I've been having. So prior to me even wasting a second with her, let's get this out on the table. If we got a date, keep it. If we got to do this, keep it. You know what I mean? And that's the problem I seem to have been having lately.
I've told a model that recently. I prefer you waste my money than waste my time.
Yeah.
Because time, I cannot get back.
Right, definitely.
Money, I can get back.
That
but time, I cannot get back.
Yeah, I've been having that problem lately, and so you're up here. What is the goal right now for 2020 for the future? For where are you headed with your career right now?
Right now, I'm looking for a lot of faces here in upstate New York because I felt like while I was in the city, I felt like it was oversaturated. Like me and some of these other publications, you know, we battling over the same girl. Somebody is getting mad. I mean, because this girl was shot and this was his main model in his publication.
Right.
Corny shit.
So they having wars over these chicks and stuff like that.
Yeah, or feeling some type of way, you know, they'll throw dirt on your name, they'll slander your name in order to get another model out to shoot with you. Oh, he's this, he's that. Like I've heard so many stories about myself, it's ridiculous.
Damn, that's crazy.
And you know, those people never come directly to me and say that to me. It's just, oh, you know, I'll put this in this model's head. Now the model, if she's not, you know, psychologically sound,
right, sensible.
she's gonna basically be like, okay, well, that must be how this guy is because he said it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and don't let them actually be somebody.
Right.
I mean, then they really believe it.
Right. Or
So,
put a couple
you know,
dollars in their pocket.
Yeah. So you know, it's you know, it was a battle for no reason. You know, models turn 18 every day.
So is that a fear that you could discover somebody up here? Because they have some beautiful, from Buffalo to Albany, definitely in Syracuse, they have some gorgeous women. So is that a fear that you will find somebody and you know, as you submit them to the different publications, they'll do an end run around you and get at the girl and try to, you know, take her?
At this point, that's considered a definite in the industry.
Right.
Somebody will tell them the grass is green on the other side, and you basically then you learn the model's character that you're dealing with.
Right.
Which you want that to happen because then you'll know where her loyalty lies. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like I said, I don't block anybody from any opportunities, but my thing is, you know, when you coming at the top, we did this together, bring me with you.
Right,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
I'm not telling you not to explore that opportunity or not to explore that opportunity. Nah, of course explore it. You know what I mean? If it's beneficial.
Right.
If it doesn't make sense, don't do it. Yeah, charge them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. That's
because it's not beneficial. If you're already getting these resources at home base, why would you venture out and try and look for them elsewhere?
Right.
That wouldn't make sense. But if somebody is gonna add to your brand, or everybody has, you know, a different avenue that can help you, as opposed to your brand, like in a major way, then yeah, definitely explore that. But you know, it make sense. That's all I say.
Okay, that makes sense. So, do you have ideas for a publication that you're gonna put out for yourself, or are you working on something as far as your own publication, or are you just doing submissions to established publications already?
Yeah, right now we have, you know, I'm like owner on a couple of publications, or I oversee the brands.
Okay.
So, but I'm in the process of, I'll probably be making my own publication soon. I never really wanted to do that because I feel like it takes away from me spreading my content out.
Yeah. Okay.
If I get my own publication, then I feel like I'm gonna be solely concentrating on my publication.
Yeah, making your shit pop.
Yeah, which takes away from me spreading myself out. You know what I mean? So, you know, but it seems like, you know, it's gonna be something that fits with what I'm doing. So I'm probably gonna, you know, end up doing my own publication.
That's cool. Are there any models up here that you've shot that are on the come up that we should be looking out for? And when I say up here, I mean like even from Albany to Buffalo, but and everything in between, Utica, Syracuse, Rochester. Are there any models you've been dealing with that we should keep an eye out for?
Yeah, Viper Santana. She's gonna be my Buffalo model. Okay. I tried to get models from each city. I had one in Niagara Falls, which was Nunu Japri. She's down in North Carolina and Charlotte now doing a thing. But you know, I have Viper based in Buffalo. So Seductive Angel, which is my main muse, she's based out of Rochester, New York.
Okay.
I have China, who's based out of Syracuse.
Shout out to China.
Yep. So, I'm working on some Utica models now. I don't have any Utica models yet. I had a couple, I had a model from Mohawk I was shooting for a while. But yeah, so far those are my only consistent models that I've been shooting. I've shot a couple of models from Rochester, which is Alice Antoinette. She's she's with Playboy. She's a Playboy model now. Luna. So I've been shooting a lot of upstate models lately.
We are real close to Canada. Any of the Canadian girls came down to hit you?
Yeah, I shot. I have a Canadian model, Isaacs rated, based out of Toronto.
Okay.
So she'll come down like once a year, and knock out a bunch of looks, and then she'll go back, and I'll spread her out through the publications throughout the year until it's time for her to come back. So yeah, I've shot her. Also Lindsay P. Official. She's also a Canadian-based model. She's been in a lot of major publications. She recently, I think she recently gave birth, so she's dealing with a baby right now. So waiting for her to get back on, and she'll be coming back out here as well. So yeah, I've ventured into the Canadian market. I need to get over there.
Yeah.
They've been coming here, but I need to leave and go over there. So
Montreal's popping. I was in Montreal. They definitely got a lot of gorgeous women, and they got a lot of variety. Like, you see so many different type of people there. Period. It's like cosmopolitan. They got Asians and Africans and Caribbeans from all over the Caribbean. I believe the Caribbean is easier to get into Canada, so you got a lot of flavor up there. So much flavor. Yeah.
Okay.
So other than that, that's is there anything else you would like to add on as far as the industry and people making their way, or different projects you may be working on?
Well, you can look out.
I got a question. Not to cut you off, but I got a question about the men's publication. You doing big body men? You think there's a thing for
you'll
big
have
body
to talk
dudes?
to the wife about that.
Do you think there's a publication, like there is even a market for big body dudes? Because I see like dudes could go big body women, but is there a thing for big body dudes? Because my weight been getting up kind of, so I'm trying to figure this out. Is there a market for me?
I don't know. That would be me and you both.
Yeah. So what was you gonna say before I cut you off? If you could get back in there, I was just wondering that.
I was just saying, I'm on different platforms. Any questions anybody has for me, I usually get right back to them. Everything is at Rafeese, Rafeese. I'm Rafeese on Twitter. I'm Rafeese on Instagram. Facebook.com/Rafeese on Facebook. On Vimeo, I do a lot of promo videos that I get a lot of flack from because they're nude videos.
Nah, those are good. I
like basically the World Star Candy style videos that I shoot.
Yeah, they were good.
So those are on my Vimeo. You look up Rafeese. You can find stuff everywhere.
So it's
OnlyFans.com, Rafeese. That's gonna be all erotic content. Like,
so is photography and modeling the only industry that they could be checking for you for, or is there other industries that you?
I'm still. I still do the hip hop music. The whole name Rafeese basically came from the hip hop era when I was a hip hop artist, which is a long story. So, but we got time, so I get into that.
Right.
Probably should have went over that first, but the name Rafeese came about because my government name is Hafiz. So I did a song on a compilation called Game Over.
Okay.
which was big back in the day.
Definitely.
Shout out to Domingo and DJ Rob. So when they put the compilation out, I was just on a song with Godfather Part 3 and Royal Flush. Anybody from my era, young folks probably won't know, but anybody from my era know who those people are.
Definitely.
So on the record, it was a song called Think Like Street that I was featured on. They spelled my name wrong.
Okay.
And it ended up selling, I believe, 90,000 copies.
Right.
So it was like, okay, if I change my name back now,
right.
then I just lost 90,000 fans, because if they trying to look for me, they're gonna look for the name that's on this album.
Okay.
So I end up leaving it like that.
Okay.
And to this day, I just rocked with it. It just stuck.
Definitely.
So a lot of things just happen by chance.
So that's another industry people could be checking for you in if they're interested in getting into music. And I've seen the videos. You shot music videos. I've seen the music videos you did.
Yeah, I'm now venturing into shooting more music videos. I just shot music video for Jaleesa Sherrill. She's a local Utica artist. Yeah, I'm venturing off into the whole directing and editing aspect. Also, like I said, I still have music. I have a SoundCloud, Rafeese. Yeah, I mean, you could just Google Rafeese and everything I do will come up.